Well, I was there at one point, and not having the academic background, I thought, oh, I can't go for this. But in actual fact, I did eventually pluck up the courage and was elected, and I can't believe just what I have got out of it, let alone have the opportunity to try and put something back into it. So I would say to those people, you know, just think about what you're doing in your community and the changes you want to make, and how do you really want to be a part of that organisation where it matters, right at the cutting edge.
I think it's really, really important that the board is a good mix of social action hubs, independents and actual people who have been community organising for any length of time, or people who've never actually had anything to do with the programme, who are just interested in community organising. So you learn a lot of skills on the board. You might sometimes think you're about your depth to start with, but we're a very supportive board and organisation, and it is about you getting as much out of it as you put in.
We can have different kinds of members on this board, where you can be an individual that's active in the community and in community organising especially. You can be part of a member organisation as well. So it's open to you, whatever your situation is. And can I just say, none of us ever thought that we would end up on the board of a national organisation. Never even crossed our minds. We didn't even know they existed. And that is exactly the sort of person that we need on this board.
It's essential the board is diverse and made up of people from all backgrounds. It's absolutely vital because we have a diverse membership, so the board has to be diverse. And the board meets across the country. We move around the country to have meetings at various places and social action hubs across Rotherham and London and Bristol and Hartlepool and North Tyneside. The board has moved around.
So I think if you're an organiser, you have so much experience and so much to give that you might not even realise that those skills are useful on a board. But I'd say you're completely wrong if that is your assumption, just because when you're on the ground you really do know what people around want and need, and people who are just sat on a board and not going out there doing it don't necessarily have that insight and knowledge. So without organisers on there with the experience, the frontline experience, the decisions that are made might not actually be the best ones. So it's really useful to have a varied range of people on the board, no matter where you're from, different areas of the country, with different thoughts on, you know, you feel free to speak your mind, because actually you might find that you're actually shouting up for a lot of people who feel the same way as you do.
I think to have the confidence in yourself that you've experienced any form of training or involvement in community organising, and as a member it's important that you recognise that your member has a voice, and that voice needs to collectively come together and move forward and steer CO Limited into the future. And that is everything that a member or a board member or a volunteer or a community organiser would need, and to share your stories.
Honestly, everybody's got something they can bring, and whatever your skills and talents are, there is a space on that board for it. Look deep within yourself, because actually you know deep down what you're good at and what you can bring. And the only way we succeed is by having the diversity of talent and diversity of creation and all those people who bring things. Yeah, none of us are the same, yeah, but we bring a collective amount of skill to a board, which means, and the different insights is what makes this really, really interesting. The insights from either if you've been a community organiser, or you're a local resident, or you're like me and you manage a place, the insights that you bring and the cultural, geographic, sociological differences really, really, really strengthen what we're about, and it's a real team. Yeah, there is nobody who, when you sit around that table, no one thinks they're better than anybody. It's like we're on the same side, we want the same thing, but we come from it from different places, and that is what that's where the strength of this place lies.
If you're interested in standing for the board and you want to learn more, then please get in touch with myself or get in touch with one of the board members, who will definitely be able to help you out with any questions that you may have.